San Diego Unveiled is a talk show solely for women.
It represents women from all over San Diego.
They come to our show to express their love and passion for what they do.
It's just a lot of inspiration, and
our voices are often sheltered and shunned, but San Diego Unveiled puts volume behind us and lets us be heard and seen in ways that has never been done in San Diego.
Hello and welcome back to San Diego Unveiled. I'm your host, Janesha Gagas. Today's guest is a singer-songwriter from Tijuana, Mexico. She produced her own full-length album last year titled Like No Other in both English and Spanish. Please welcome Pricilla Carrion.
Hi, thank you,
welcome
San Diego.
to the show. You look lovely this evening. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm born and raised in Tijuana, Mexico, but I've always been, traveling here to San Diego. It's almost like the same thing. I'm from a family of musicians and actors and everything, so it's kind of like the family business.
It's in your blood.
It's
basically.
in my blood, and the passion is there, and yeah. So I've been singing since I would say from 5. I started to do like jingles, like commercials.
Oh, really?
And then I got like professionally in a band. I think when I was like 20, I was there for like 7 years. And then...
And this band is?
This band is called Grupo L, and they're from Tijuana. And then I started my solo project, and that was 3 years ago when I started to do my album. And that's...
Oh, wow. So what made you become a solo artist? Is it from being in that band that made you feel so confident to be like, I could do this on my own now?
Yeah, I mean, definitely it was... The band really like brought out my love for music. I mean, I always loved music, but I wasn't like too sure in the beginning what I wanted to do. And then just performing, I just love entertaining people. This is my thing. I love making people laugh. I like making them dance.
Having an audience.
I love it, yeah. So that's where it really came out. And then one day I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to American Idol. I'm going to go to The Voice and da-da-da. And I went twice, and it was fantastic and everything.
So you did those auditions
I
before?
did them, yeah. I did them.
Wow, how was that experience?
Oh, it was great. It was like the first time I went, I mean, it's stadium-filled people, right?
I think it was I've seen the shows.
Yeah, I think it was like 20,000 people or 10,000 people in the stadium, and they only choose 200, and I was one of the 200.
Wow.
The producers choose you, and then you go to the cameras, and then
That's
you go
incredible.
to the judges. And then I got sent home, but that was fun.
Oh, that's
totally
an experience. It's okay.
Great, yeah.
Like, what pushed you to do that? I mean, I would never.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're a singer, so it's like,
Yeah.
what motivated you to be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna go on these shows.
It really was. I can't explain it. It really was sort of like a godsend. I was just like in my room, I remember, and then I saw an ad for American Idol on TV, and I was like, I gotta do it. And then the auditions were in San Francisco, and I just told my mom, like, I'm gonna book a flight. Do you want to come with me? Because I'm doing it. And she was like, what? What's going on? She's like, that's great. So then we went, and it was amazing. It's really.
I can tell you're very ambitious then.
Yeah.
Have you always been this type of person since you were younger? What made you become a performer?
I mean, I've always been, like, if you go back when I was little, you'll see the videos of me, like, dressed up singing Cinderella songs and all this stuff. So I've always loved that. And I've always been ambitious, even in my school and every aspect of my life. I really like to excel. So I'll do everything I can to excel at whatever I put my mind on. So
Definitely.
This is just one of the things.
Did your parents push you to do that, or was that kind of like a God-given talent for you to be like, I know what I want to do, and I am going to...
You mean the singing?
Yeah, and everything else. Like, I know that earlier you're telling me you're a chemist.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time and dedication to be in that position.
Yeah.
Plus having, that singing career and being an artist. How did you balance that?
Well, it's funny because, in Mexico at least, they do these like personality tests to see which career path you're like better at or something. And I would always be half sciencey part, half artistic part. And they're really merged because you need that creative thinking to, think out of the box.
Oh, definitely.
On both sides. So then I started to study. I did my bachelor's in chemistry. And when I got into the performing, it was kind of as a dare. It was really because my sister was kind of like, you don't know how to do that. I was like, yes, I do. And then it just happened.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
You wanted to prove something.
Yeah, they probably planned it that way because I was kind of resistant at first. But now it's like, I'm glad they did. So I'm here.
Oh, no, I'm
happy,
glad they did too.
Yeah,
You're doing so well in your career because now you have this amazing album like no other. Please tell me about this whole journey that you went through to do this.
So the album actually just started as a demo. It was like, let's do a demo, 3 songs will help you, blah, blah. And then suddenly it was like, why don't we just do like a full-blown album? And then since I'm from Mexico, it was like, why don't we do it in Spanish? And then it turned into like a double album. So it was like 2, because you can't just translate word by word. It's poetry, so you have to really think about it, get the feeling.
Oh, definitely.
So it was 2 years of really, really hard work and a lot of fun, definitely with my family. It was really like, started kind of as a family project, and it was just like amazing. So now there's 10 original songs, all written, produced by me, my mom, my sister, my dad. Like we all chipped in, in our creative talents to get this out. And also one thing that we ventured in is to not only English and Spanish, but we did a song in Portuguese.
Oh, how
That's an original.
was that?
That was like really challenging because I love Brazil. I love the language. It just sounds great.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's like
sexy.
It's sexy and like it's really easy to dance to.
Oh, yeah.
So this is an original song, and also it was like the World Cup at that time, so we did that, and it was really challenging because it's poetry in a language that we don't speak. So we got to do that, and I'm really proud of it. It's amazing.
That's
so,
awesome.
yeah.
What were some of the exciting things you went through producing this album?
I think just being like in the studio with the engineers and really getting those ideas of like the ideas that I had in my head really tangible, listening to them. It's like I really want like more acoustic here, or I want more harmony here. What if we do something completely out of the box and make a scene where it's like as if you're walking through the streets of Tijuana? What would you hear if it's in a woman, if it's this?
That's
so it's kind of,
awesome.
it's very experimental in some sorts, and it has a lot of inspiration from some of my favorite artists, like Madonna, of course, but Beatles, like, how they do this sort of weird reverse sort of singing.
That kind of like,
Yeah. So that's
that
there
style.
too.
Yeah,
so that's great.
You get inspired by other kind of musicians
Yeah.
and stuff. Kind of like you're like a modern day Selena or something.
Yeah,
like that.
that's funny. I do sing some of her songs
Yeah.
in the band, so yeah, I'll take
That's
it.
awesome.
It's fine.
So I know that we were talking about how like your music. What kind of projects are you embedding into the music right now?
So right now, I'm about to release a music video, and it's the
exciting.
first one that I do in Spanish, because I had some other ones in English, but this is a song, the only ballad that I have in the album, and it's called For Life. And that really, we wanted to, you'll see the video, it'll premiere in like a couple weeks. And it's really about me in the studio, just like that you can see the raw expression of me singing this love song.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
That's so great. So tell me about these amazing events that are coming up right now.
So basically, so it's a lot of it is the promotion, the promotion of the album. We have that video coming up, and then we have another video after that, which is a surprise. I won't tell you which song it is for that one.
We'll be anticipating for
yes,
it. So
and definitely a lot of gigs. And right now I have rejoined the band, so we have a lot of gigs in Tijuana and San Diego, and you can look those up in my website, theempressofpop.com.
Awesome. Besides that, I know that you're doing organizations or something like that.
Oh, right. Yeah. So then I do have an event in October, which is all about, so my music and basically what I want to express is that I'm all about love, freedom, and full self-expression in any way or area that you decide to express that. So there's an event in October that's going to be in Tijuana, and it's all about women expressing themselves through art. So it's really a movement,
that's awesome.
and it can be any discipline they choose. And so we're organizing that, and it's going to be towards a nonprofit that's
always
called
good.
Manos Entrelazadas. It's a nonprofit in Tijuana that gives back to like women and children that have been victims of violence and abuse. So
Oh, that's a great message too.
So yeah, so apart from the music, it's like I really like giving back. So it's the thing that fulfills me, and I love it. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Obviously, it makes you really happy.
yeah, I'm really excited.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's the first time we've done it, so yeah, we'll see how
Oh,
it
good
goes.
luck. And what kind of inspiration or advice would you give to, the younger generation that have this dream but don't know how to accomplish it?
Yeah, I would tell all the little girls and boys and even adults, I don't care who it is to really be authentic and genuine to themselves. And that means, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be afraid. It means that you can be afraid, but you can look beyond that. Because reality is, everybody's afraid of everybody else. So if you just get that out of the way, and it's to do whatever you're called to, then that's fine. So I would just say be self-expressed and be authentic to yourself, no matter what shape or form that takes.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I really loved your presence on this show, and I will be waiting to see your song in the charts soon. You're welcome. Priscilla's album is currently available through Amazon Music and also iTunes. Even though passions and dreams may seem unattainable in the beginning, they are always worth the blood, sweat, and tears in the end. So whatever you do, don't give up. And until next time, San Diego, stay safe and classy.
Ven a mí, abrázame y veremos juntos el amanecer. Ámame sin temor, solo estamos tú y yo. El tiempo se detendrá hasta que no exista más. Ven a mí y quédate hasta la eternidad. No hay por qué negar esta pasión o dar una explicación. A tu lado quiero estar, en tus brazos descansar y amarte hasta el final. No hay por qué negar esta pasión o dar una explicación. A tu lado quiero estar, en tus brazos descansar y amarte hasta el final. Nada es casualidad. Hoy sé que amor así es divinidad. A nuestras almas la felicidad por fin llegó. Ven a mí y quédate hasta la eternidad. No hay por qué negar esta pasión